prosperity. Science also confirms this phenomenon. Research shows that people who start the day by feeding negative thoughts develop a greater propensity for stagnation and even depression. Those who cultivate hope and purpose early in the day, however, have much higher rates of resilience and long-term prosperity. In other words, the conflict is real, but the decision to win begins within you. And here is the secret: prosperity is not the absence of difficulties, it is the inner fortitude to navigate through them. Every tear, every struggle, every apparent delay carries an invisible seed of growth. The problem is that when we don't understand this process, we stop planting and get used to living below what we were called to be. But this doesn't have to be your destiny. I affirm, the invisible conflict is not an enemy to be feared but an invitation to grow. Because when you decide, at the break of dawn, that your mind will be a territory of promises and not of doubts, you have already won the most important battle. And whoever wins within will inevitably win outside. There is an invisible law that governs all human achievement, and I discovered it after decades of study, observation, and, above all, personal experience. Every accomplishment begins with a burning desire, is sustained by an unshakable faith, and is only materialized through persistent action. This triad is not optional, it is non-negotiable. Think about it. How many of you have had a dream but gave up halfway because it seemed impossible? How many times did you believe you didn't have enough time, resources, support, and stopped before you truly tried? Have you ever wondered how many opportunities were wasted not because of a lack of ability, but because of a lack of persistence? Most people fail not because they dream too small, but because they give up too quickly. I myself faced this dilemma. When I began my research on the power of the mind, I encountered closed doors, severe criticism, and a poverty that often threatened my own survival. There were mornings when I woke up with nothing to eat. There were days when I seriously considered abandoning everything. But something inside me burned more strongly than doubt. That fire was the burning desire to discover the truth about human success. And it was that desire that sustained me when nothing around me seemed to make sense. Faith was the second pillar that kept me from sinking. Not a blind faith, but a living faith, the conviction that if I persisted, I would find the answers. It was this faith that made me believe that every adversity carried a seed of an equivalent benefit. Imagine transforming every failure into a stepping stone, every difficulty into a school, and every no into fuel. This is what I learned, and I tell you, faith does not eliminate struggles, but it gives us direction and the courage to continue. And, of course, neither of